Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varisthaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Last class we saw God is born on this earth as man in every age. The subsequent is Sri Ramakrishna's birthday being celebrated March 11th, 1883. It was Sri Ramakrishna's birthday. Many of the disciples and devotees wanted to celebrate the happy occasion at the Dakshineshwar garden temple. Birthday. We usually, all people celebrate birthday. In Hinduism, we have a special significance of birthday. That is, it is a jiva has come to the earth with the karmic load, and it is not the number of years that he has spent in the world, 1 year over, 10 years over, 20 years over. It is not that. But what has he given to the world? What is he taking and going away when he returns from this world? A lamp is lit in front of him in the shrine also. That lamp is not the lamp that is put off. The lamp keeps burning, showing he moves with wisdom and divine love. A light lamp is waved in front of the deity, and even to the child or anybody whose birthday is celebrated, is the same lamp or a different lamp is waved in front of the child. Oh, look at yourself, you are divine. The bodily existence in human existence are suppressed. Divine existence is awakened. We wave the lamp like waving before the Lord in the temple to the child or the person whose birthday it is. That is, to awaken the divine within. In the Western countries we see number of years they have passed, especially during childhood, the candles are put off. In Hinduism they are not put off. Putting of candle is considered, light is considered as inauspicious. Here the spent life and a new life coming, new year coming, new advancement is shown by how many years we have passed. It is not how many years we have passed, how much of divinity we have acquired, what are we going back when we leave the body and go, what are we going to leave the legacy behind when we go from this world. So that awakening of the divine and view of the child or person to see the divine everywhere. It is considered as the stock taking day. What have I attained? I have spent so many years in my life. What ultimately have I attained in this world? and what am I going to take and go away. Here we see the stock taking is not the material world. Material world, what have you acquired? We have to leave everything, whether it is name, fame, wealth, progeny, what all we have created, what all we have acquired, and what all we possess, including relatives, friends, our dear and near, everything we have to leave and go. What is he going with? Only karmic load and the tendencies we have created, vasanas. So, has he acquired good vasanas that take him again to a human birth at least, if not divine, at least to human, that he can continue his spiritual practices, attainment of the higher levels of consciousness to move towards eternal freedom. So this view of the change of the world view and change within, that stock of material world, what have we to do? Nothing. And what a tendency, again same, we are going to build up next life. And suffering, bondage is inevitable. It continues. Few things, inevitable things. In the last class also we saw old age, death, all these diseases, all these things we saw are inevitable in life. So that suffering and karmic load to work out, how much of toil, how much of suffering, you can just look at the world. Now present, in this present age, you will see everybody is filled with tension and there is momentary enjoyments external, but inner peace is lost forever. In enjoyments, there is no peace. Before enjoyments, in earning, no peace. After enjoyment, also no peace. Lack of peace. Being deprived of peace within, we are enjoying momentary enjoyments, which are again going to bring the suffering. So, birthdays are celebrated to keep the light burning, the light of devotion, the light of seeing divine everywhere and serving with love, to universal love, the perfect harmony within and the external world. All these good and great things that a human must acquire are reminded of. It is a stock-taking day. So when we come to Sri Ramakrishna's birthday, or birthday of the celebration of the avatars or of the saints, it takes a different course. Here Ramakrishna is known and considered as incarnation of God. God is there in this form. The whole earth is rejoicing. Every soul has come for the sake of every soul on this earth. Every being, be it an ant or in various planes of existence. The 14 planes of existence, jivas are there. For everybody's sake, he has taken a human birth. So, how do we celebrate that human birth? What he has acquired and what has he left? No. His grace that has descended to the earth to lift the mankind to its highest freedom, to peace, love, and harmony at every level of the human existence. So, when we celebrate the birthday of an incarnation of God or of saints, it is rejoicing the jiva's release from the bondages. It is jiva's release, jiva's acquiring higher states of existence, constantly moving towards the eternal freedom of unending bliss and peace. So here we see Sri Ramakrishna's birthday it was birthday Many of the disciples and devotees wanted to celebrate the happy occasion at Dakshineshwar temple garden. From early morning, devotees streamed in, alone and in parties. After the morning worship in the temples, sweet music was played in Nahabat. It was springtime. What a difference the time makes. Just a century, almost a little more than a century before is happening, and the world is almost one with nature, as if no artificiality, no computer, no mobile, no TV, so no distractions, no other engagements than the nature and actuality of life. The whole thing is artificial. How the people were free, totally free, absolutely free to do their work and devote themselves to higher concerns of life. Now man is bound, his mind is stuck to certain things from which it is very difficult to release. A stream of people gathering now, any function, any spiritual retreat or things, very few come. Even on the birthday of Sri Ramakrishna, the people who gathered there at that time are not there now in temples and other things. Oh, they say everything is available on internet, everything is available at home, where there is no need to go to temple at all. It is not true. Because man thinks. The more man becomes wise, he moves towards this wisdom is worldly wisdom, takes him away from the realities of life. So in those days, the life was totally one with nature and loving beings. Now it is self-centered life. What I get, how shall I enjoy? Self-centered. It was social-centered. It was the humanity-centered. All were interested in the welfare of not only themselves, but of the society, and of course wars and everything was there. Selfishness, the man's nature doesn't change, but it was never worst. It never had stepped down to the absolute I, mine, that's all. With I and mine, there was you also was there. Now, the you is to be they're trying to eliminate, and I want to present myself in every possible way and belittle the other things. So that tendency is slowly growing up with modernity and materialism. Here you see, from early morning, devotees streamed in alone and in parties. After the morning worship in the temple, sweet music was played in the Nahabat. It was springtime. How the nature participates, you see. Sri Ramakrishna's birth, Holy Mother's birth, and Swamiji's birth, they happen just when the crop has come to the fullness. In the whole, everywhere greenery, we see Holy Mother's birthday, December, towards the end of December, almost Christmas period. Then we see Swamiji's birthday. The winter is ending and begins. Ramakrishna's spring has come and the new shoots have formed. The whole thing is a beautiful thing. How he describes, you see. It was springtime. The trees, creepers and plants were covered with new leaves and blossoms. The very air seemed to laden with joy. It is filled with joy. The whole very air, the atmosphere, everything is resonating with joy. And the heart of the devotees were glad on this auspicious occasion. Master is still there amidst them, rejoicing. The ancient concept of Ananda we could see throughout the life of Sri Ramakrishna from the childhood days, everything Ananda, Ananda. With Buddhism, there was a great change in the attitude of man towards life. Oh, life is painful. His suffering is there. Transcend the suffering and go. That was the Buddhist base of Buddha begins his great journey seeing the suffering of mankind. First he sees the death, old age, and the struggle that human is going through diseases and begins. So he sees the suffering end. Here other side we see in the Ramakrishna's life and the ancient Vedic times, there is another change. There is a Ananda, attain that Ananda, acquiring Ananda. The main important thing is Ananda is there everywhere. Try to grasp that Ananda, acquire that Ananda. It was not get rid of suffering. It was acquisition of Ananda. One is absolute positivity and the other is absolute negativity. So here we see Sri Ramakrishna's life and all the the devotees who have come there are enjoying the presence of that person who is Ananda Swarupa. God is bliss absolute, peace absolute, love absolute. Absolute means there is no degree of comparison. Taratamya is not there. It is one ocean filled with bliss and bliss alone. So that God is there in front of what happens to the man. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came down to this earth to a ecstatic love of God. So here we see Sri Ramakrishna himself is Ananda Swarupa and all are enjoying that Ananda. And the heart of the devotees were glad on this auspicious day. Yam arrived early in the morning and found the master talking smilingly to Bhavanath, Rakhal and Kali Krishna. Yam arrived and saw Thakur is smilingly talking to all these people. Yam prostrated before the master to Yam. I am glad you have come. I am glad you have come. It is Yam who is going to give these messages, what happened, how it is to the world. It is he who is going to record. And the whole thing is being recorded by him. And Master is happy that somebody is giving his message to the world, preserving it and giving. And he was meant for it. I am glad you have come. To the devotees, one cannot be spiritual as long as has shame, hatred and fear. Lajja, grana, bhai, teen takte naai. Thakur used to say, Lajja, the shame, grina, hatred and bhai, the fear. One cannot be spiritual as long as one has shame, hatred and fear. Shame is what makes him shrink. Hatred is what makes him rush to destroy. Fear is another thing which makes him almost like something like zero. Fear is what deprives man of all his possessions. The only treasure that he has is the fearlessness of the Atman. The fear means I am intensely body. The bodily identity, the psychic identity of being mind and body creates the fear. When I identify with the cosmic existence or with my Atman, at least, then the fear goes off. In Upanishads they say Bhauma. When the microcosm is one with macrocosm and knows itself at least to be a part and parcel, inseparable part of Mamevamsho Jivaloke, at least to that extent, I may not be able to identify with the whole universe as myself, but at least as a part of that vast existence, which is God Himself. To that extent also, he becomes fearless. His faith in divine providence, faith in divine existence, faith in existence of God makes man fear, and because he is inseparable part of the divinity. When we move away from our own real existence, when we move away from the cosmic existence, when we move away from God and become bodily existence, then the fear comes. I am body. These three, how can he be spiritual if these three things are there? Great will be the joy today. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, one cannot be spiritual as long as one has shame, hatred or fear. Great will be the joy today. Master is also enjoying. But those fools who will not sing or dance, mad with God's name, will never attain God. An important thing. Singing the names of glories of God. Dance and play. Children you can see dancing and playing. The play, ordinary play of children, they play with so many toys, that play. When they go to the beaches, they take the sand and play. As they grow some play ground and all, they play. This play is expression of joy. Similar dance is an expression of joy. How Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and saints used to dance in ecstasy, in thought of God. That when inside is filled, it is expressed, the excess, the overflowing joy makes them dance. Children also, if some function and all is going on, if they see any stage, they unknowingly, their body movements you can see as if they are dancing, seeing a dance. So this kind of dance and play, this is expression. That means they are not yet filled with joy. They are not relishing yet the God's name. But those fools who do not sing or dance, singing and taking in the name of God, in the glory of God, in remembering God, they are forgetting the external limitations, the nature. See, we care for many things. What most important thing human cares is what is the opinion of others upon me. Even a child develops that. This one, he looks how people are taking. Just a child of 1 year is already has started getting this. Oh, what is the opinion of others on me? How the others are looking at me. And as they grow, this becomes more and more firm. And he does everything, sitting, walking, sleeping, everything with the awareness of others around. He is not aware of his own divinity or of God. When a person starts singing the names and glories of God, that he is forgetful of all these limitations that he has put upon himself. He himself, we ourselves put on the limitations upon us. These limitations must go away. Sing and dance. Mad with God's name. Mad with God's name. How he is able to dance? How he is able to sing and dance? He is mad with the. He has forgotten everything in rejoicing God, in rejoicing the divine, in rejoicing the bliss absolute, love absolute. God's name will never attain God. That is, the meaning is inside you are filled with joy of God, peace of God, and it must express externally. The freedom, the inner freedom must express itself. When I can dance alone in my room, I don't want to dance in front of the others. This, I can dance alone, but I am not able to. I lost my freedom. Expression of freedom. I am free. That freedom is not expressed. I can dance before all. I can sing before all. That I am not able to do because that limitation I put on myself. How can one feel any shame or fear when the names of God are sung? How can one feel shame or fear when how much of faith there must be, oh God is with me. That fearlessness, that shame. Now sing of all the shame part in the singing when the name of God are sung, names of God are sung. The one is the faith in God and God's omnipotency, that he can do and undo anything, that faith in that makes him fearless. And shame is released by the understanding, except God, nothing is there. What to hide, what to show, and He's Antaryamin, God is Antaryamin. One aspect removes the shame, and another aspect is, except God, nothing exists. God alone has become this universe. This understanding eliminates the shame from our heart. Now sing all of you. Now sing all of you. And the Bhavanath and his friend Kali Krishna sang a beautiful song that we find it appropriate for this occasion of Ramakrishna's birthday. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.